Hey friends, welcome back to my video. My name is Missy, and in this one I'm doing a little bit different. I'm just doing a voiceover. I had so much stuff to do in my kitchen this particular day, and I was like, let me just grab my camera. Here I am baking off a bunch of wild grain croissants, sourdough croissants that had been hanging out my freezer and I needed to do something with. So I shoved those in the oven and got those ready. And I am working on a new recipe for sourdough sandwich bread. I'm trying to make my sandwich bread really soft and not so dense, which sometimes sourdough can be. So here I am just, every week I'm trying out a new loaf. So here is my attempt for this week for a sourdough sandwich loaf. And I am using my brand new baby, my cast iron pan that Matt got me for Christmas, the loaf pan. It was like a set of like 4. So I'm just greasing that with some avocado oil. And here is my lovely sourdough bread. Doesn't that look beautiful? I love messing around with bread. I could do bread things like every single day. So I'm just scooping that out on my countertop. I like to kind of roll up my sandwich bread. I feel like it makes just a nice tight crumb when you cut it. So nothing fancy, just roll it out. And I just kind of rolled up like a cinnamon roll, pinch the little ends there sometimes I don't. Put it in there seam side down. And my new proofing thing that I like to do is put the dough in a massive like zipper bag. This is a Target brand jumbo zipper bag. And you can see I poof it up like that and put it off to the counter and let it sit for about 2 to 3 hours. Next, I'm working on some waffles for the freezer. My kiddos go through phases where they want waffles every single day or don't, and I don't feel like making them. This recipe in particular is, I have a separate vlog I'll list below, as well as a recipe posted on my blog, missyjway.com, which I'll link below. It is just a full sourdough starter, an egg, honey, avocado oil or coconut oil. I put vanilla in mine. Sometimes I do a little bit of cinnamon, salt, baking soda. You mix it all up and make waffles. It's absolutely delicious. And there's no raw flour in here, so it's a fully fermented type of sourdough product, which is kind of the ones that I go for. I feel like they just sit in your tummy better than raw flour. So this is what I'm making for my kiddos. And I was giving that a really good mix. I did not add the baking soda yet. I like to really blend everything else and add the baking soda at the very last minute. Sourdough is acidic, so it reacts to the baking soda, and you want that reaction to happen right before you cook it or bake it. So here I am adding that in, giving it a good mix. And I hate using excessive tools, but the turquoise waffle maker right over there on the left hand side makes waffle sticks, and it's so hard for me to get them in there without overflowing with a spoon. I already had this thing. Matt had got it a while ago, and I was like, let me give this a try and see if this will. It's just a pancake dispenser, I guess. It worked so well. So this is a baby cakes. You can see I'm putting it in here. I don't even grease them anymore. They're all non-stick, and as long as they're hot, nothing sticks. And this is my dash iron. You can get them all over the place. Amazon, Target, they're like 10 bucks. They're also wonderful. They make like Eggo size. So here we go, pulling them out. And this is the one that's really great for little kiddos to pick up. My daughter loves them. And the waffle itself was just overcooked. That's why I left it in there a little too long. That's why it wasn't coming out. But it didn't actually stick. It was just really well done. So here I am just refilling, and I'm just doing rinse and repeat with this till all of my waffle batter is gone. And my kiddos had this for breakfast, and I put the rest in the freezer. So here you go. Look, isn't that beautiful? I guess so golden. I love them. Here's my little kiddo. This is Miss Matilda. Isn't she cute? And wherever she is eating, Mosley is not far away looking for snacks. Who needs a vacuum when you have dogs? And Paul is back there rocking his Christmas PJs. So here are those wild grain croissants. They were absolutely delicious. And now it's lunchtime. So this is probably one of my favorite winter lunches to do. I don't usually like hot lunches in the summer. My son is on a bacon kick. Every morning he wants a piece of bacon. So I do it in my cast iron, and then I use that bacon grease for my Brussels sprouts at lunchtime. All I'm doing is cutting them in half, putting them in my cast iron, and I roast them at 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. You just want to check on them. At this point, I don't even put anything else on them. I don't put any oil, no salt and pepper. I just put them straight into the oven. And I will mention that I did preheat this cast iron skillet. It was in the oven while my oven was preheating for probably about 10 to 15 minutes or so. It's not screaming hot, but it is a little warm. So then I just throw that in the oven. 10 minutes later, this is what it looks like. Not completely done, but getting there. So I just give that a little shake, and I saw that it looked dry, so I add a little bit more avocado oil, some salt and pepper, and I add this delicious apple Gouda sausage, chicken sausage from ButcherBox. It's amazing. So I use 1 link. I don't remember what the protein count is. Give that a little zhuzh and put it back in the oven for about 5 to 8 minutes till it crisps up. It is absolutely delicious. I love having this for lunch. Moving on back to the bread. It's been a few hours. You can see it's risen, gotten a lot of height there. So I'm just gonna put that in my oven, and it is 375 for about 45 minutes. 45 minutes later, this is what it looks like. I can't wait to share this recipe with you guys. I feel like I'm slowly perfecting it, and I always like to top my sandwich bread with salted grass-fed butter. It just gives a little saltiness to the outside and tries to keep it a little bit from getting hard. You can see it got stuck. It's okay, I get it out. I just used a knife, went around the edge. So lesson learned, I need to grease it a lot more than I did with its maiden voyage. But it did come out. And that's why I like these parchment paper slings. They just make life so much easier. Put it on a drying rack, and I don't like to keep it on the parchment because I don't want it to sweat, so I go ahead and take it off. And I do let it completely cool, which is the really hard part. I don't cut it into hot bread as much as you really want to. So now it's dinner time. I'm whipping out more ButcherBox stuff here. These are their steak tips. I don't know how to cook these correctly. They were just on a really good deal. So I put this Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse seasoning, get this from Costco. It's absolutely delicious. Sprinkle it all over the steak tips. I put them in my air fryer as hot as it will go. I cooked them for about 12 minutes. They probably should have gone for like 8 to 10, and you just shake them halfway through. Here is my also second favorite vegetable, cauliflower. I wish I could get this more in our diets. I could eat cauliflower every single night. My husband swears that he burps it up, so he's not a big fan of cauliflower or broccoli. I believe they are both related. So I do things like riced cauliflower. I haven't done it forever, but cauliflower mashed potatoes or roasted cauliflower is just so good. I could just roast it with olive oil, salt, and pepper and eat that, but to get my husband to eat it, I have to cover it with cheese and bacon. But whatever works. I guess this meal technically is a really good keto meal. So it's just, I call it steak tips and fully loaded cauliflower. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these into just bite-sized chunks, and I put this entire head into my air fryer. It makes about 3 servings, and you can see Paul needed some loving. I can't remember what happened. I think he fell. He's been running around full speed in my house and getting boo-boos left and right. Nothing serious, probably just tripped. So we're back at it, cutting it all up, and I like to put my vegetables in a bowl to mix them with oil and seasonings rather than just, mixing around on a baking sheet or in the air fryer basket. Sometimes I've seen people do that. So I'm just throwing this big bowl here, clearing the decks, and the cheese I actually already grated, but this bacon is from ButcherBox as well, and it is a thick cut something, but the outside's covered in pepper. I mean, it's delicious. It's not one that I would want with pancakes because it's got like a black pepperiness to it, but it's really good on burgers or these fully loaded cauliflower, anything savory. But whenever I start cutting bacon, people start coming in the kitchen. I got the baby here, husband's sneaking some, I was sneaking some, Paul was sneaking some. So here we go, avocado oil. Very light with the salt and pepper because I'm giving some of this to my baby. I've been doing this lately with vegetables. I basically cook them with just oil and then season them after the fact, which is sacrilegious. I know you're always supposed to season it every single step, but I'm trying to keep my daughter's salt low. So here's those steak tips. Like I said, they went a little too long, but that's okay. Pulling them all out onto a bowl, and I'm just going to cover them with a plate and let them rest while the cauliflower is cooking in the exact same basket. I don't clean it. The basket is nice and hot, which is perfect for roasting veggies in. Take all of those out, put them into a bowl, top that with a plate, and then I'm just going to throw that cauliflower right in. And I'm just doing it with my standard air fryer setting. I think it's 370 and 15 minutes, and I just check it halfway, give it a shake, and let it go for the rest of the 7 to 8 minutes. Here's what it looks like. I top it with some cheese and some of that bacon that we chopped up, and I just put it back in the air fryer, not even on, just in the hot air fryer off, and just let that cheese melt while I get everything else set up. And this is what it looks like. It's absolutely delicious. One of my favorite meals right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.